Hello everybody, thank you for joining me on my latest little video. Unfortunately, today's video isn't the one that I was going to do. I was hoping to be doing you my review of the remixed Red and Blue albums, but unfortunately, as of recording, which is 3 o'clock now, on Friday the 10th of November, they still haven't come. But don't worry, I have got a video for you. As some of you may know, I have been off this week. This like a week's annual holiday. We were going to go to Liverpool, but then we changed it at the last minute because the weather wasn't supposed to be that good, and then it's been quite nice so far, hasn't it, this week? So, you know, sod's law, isn't it? But that's by the by. So we've been having a few days out. Well, I've been to Leicester, I've been to Belper, and I've been to Chesterfield. Went to Chesterfield yesterday, bought some records every time we've been away. Just a quick shout out, because I actually met one of my subscribers yesterday. I think his name was Mick Patrick. It was really nice meeting you, mate. We had a nice little discussion about not only the Beatles, but record collecting and other bands and things like that as well. You know, it always amazes me when somebody, you know, walking down the street and somebody goes, "Hey, are you Beatle Dave?" Yeah, but, you know, very nice chap. So if you're watching, Mick, you know, thanks for the conversation yesterday. Thanks for coming up and talking to me. You know, it is truly amazing when things like that happen. Anyway, so I've been off for the week, so we'll get back to the question and answer. I'm going to be showing you some records that I bought. Some of them are like upgrades, and some of them are records that I didn't get, and then others I got them just because basically they're that cheap to buy. So like I say, I'm sorry it's not the Red and the Blue album review, but it's next best thing, isn't it? So first off, we went to Leicester. We went on the bus because I get free bus travel, obviously, because I'm a bus driver. It seemed to take forever to get there, to be honest. We didn't just go looking for records while we was there. Excuse me. We did go to the Richard III, what do you call it, like memorial thing. You couldn't actually go to where he's buried now in the cathedral, because they're doing the cathedral up, but you could actually go and see where they found him, you know, in the car park thing, and it's like a little museum to him. It was really interesting to do. We had something nice to eat as well, and then we did some record collecting, record shopping as well. So I got I think it's either 4 or 5 albums from there, which are these here. So you'll have to excuse me. So this was a shop called Beatles Records, which is just behind the marketplace in Burton-on-Trent, just behind the marketplace in Leicester. You'll have to excuse me, my mind's all over the place today. Nice selection of records. I think the chap's been there for years and years and years, because I can remember going years ago and going to the same shop. This is one that I didn't have. This is Remember the Yardbirds. So this is like an early compilation of the Yardbirds' greatest hits sort of thing. So it's featuring Jeff Beck, Jim McCartney, Keith Reith, Eric Clapton, Paul Samuel Smith. So it's like their best hits or greatest hits. It's on Regal Starline, SRS 5069. And you've got some really nice songs on there. You're going to have to excuse me, because I'm going to have to put my glasses on. And I did have a strange comment the other week. Somebody goes, "Beatle Dave, how come some of your videos you wear glasses and some of your videos you don't?" I don't wear glasses, usually do not wear glasses. I am long-sighted. It's just when I'm doing things on here, sometimes, I mean, I can read all that properly, but, you know, if I'm looking, I've got a light there and I'm looking into camera, sometimes it hurts my eyes. So that's why when I'm doing my videos, I wear glasses. And these are new glasses that I got in Belper, £1.50, bargain, eh? So on there you've got Heart Full of Soul, Smoke Struck Lightning, I Wish You Would, Good Morning Little Schoolgirl, Evil Hearted You, For Your Love, that was a massive hit, wasn't it? Then you've got Shape of Things, brilliant song, Still I'm Sad, My Girl Sloopy, A Certain Girl, I Ain't Done Wrong, and I'm a Man. So that is the track listing. Of course, the Yardbirds had Jeff Beck, they had Eric Clapton, and they even had Jimmy Page, didn't they, at one point? And when they split up, Jimmy Page somehow got the rights to the name of the Yardbirds, and he put together a new band, which were going to be the New Yardbirds, who turned out to be Led Zeppelin, didn't they? So this is the label. Is that okay? So I haven't played this one yet. I've played a few of them, but other ones I haven't played yet. So, but I'm quite looking forward to playing this. That was all of £5. £5 for a Yardbirds LP. Can't be bad, is it? That's got a flip back sleeve as well. I had a quick look on eBay this morning, and these go anywhere between £5 and £25. So I don't think I've done that bad. I'd say roughly it's going to be worth about £10 to £15, isn't it? Then this is actually a record that I did have, but this is like an upgrade because the one I've got isn't in that good a condition. Another big 60s band, but if you don't live in the UK you might not have ever heard of them. And it was a band called Dave D, Dozy, Beaky, McCartney, and they had a hell of a lot of hit singles in the UK. Not necessarily like top, you know, number ones and number twos, but they always seem to get into the top 10. And this is like an early compilation of theirs, and it's just called Legend of Dave D, Dozy, Beaky, McCartney. It's on Fontana, and it's a Fontana special, which I think means it was slightly cheaper. So you get the wreck of the Antoline, Miss Thursday, Still Life, In a Matter of a Moment, Last Night in Soho, that was a hit. The Legend of Xanadu, that was a hit. Breakout, Please Mr. Llewellyn, and then you get Zabadak, which was also a hit. So I think they tried to do like really strange sort of names for some of the songs. Dave D, that wasn't his real name, but before he became a pop star, he was actually a policeman, believe it or not, and he went to the crash that killed Eddie Cochran. You get an insert with this as well. First budget line on a major renowned label, it says. I'll show the labels because some of these labels are actually really nice. So that is side one. And then that is side two. So that's a bit strange, isn't it? How, you know, somebody who became a pop star actually used to be a policeman and was one of the first people on the scene of the car crash that killed Eddie Cochran. I think Dave D's passed away now. He did get, when these split up, they carried on as Dozy, Beaky, McCartney, and he did have a bit of a solo career. And then he brought the rights to, wasn't Ready Steady Go, Beat Club, which was like a German top of the pop sort of like thing, and he bought the rights to that. Then I bought this one. That was £5 as well. And I got this one for £6, which is Flowers in the Dirt by Paul McCartney, sort of like his comeback album, one after the Give My Regards to Broad Street film and LP, which we've done videos on before. Some good songs on this. So My Brave Face, Rough Ride, You Want Her To, Distractions, We Got Married, Put It There, Figure of Eight, this one, Don't Be Careless, Love, That Day Is Done, How Many People, Not Too Many People, How Many People, and Motor of Love. So again, I've got a couple of copies of this, but this did actually seem to be in really nice condition. So you get the little booklet thing with it. Well, it's not really a booklet, it's just like a pamphlet, isn't it? Which I don't know if you got that in other parts of the world or not. The cover is in really nice condition as well. The record is in like this yellow sleeve, which reminds you like something, this should have been in a Wings album, shouldn't it? Because some of the early Wings singles came in yellow sleeves, didn't they? And then you get the like custom Parlophone label in this case. Okay. Again, yes, it needs a clean, but it looks like it's hardly been played, to be honest. So that's what we got from Leicester, just about. There's one more. Yeah, I never realised how far Leicester was from Derby, to be honest. It seemed to take forever on the bus. It really did seem to take forever. I suppose if I'd gone in my car, it wouldn't have took as long. But then again, parking seems to be quite bad around there as well. Nice place to go for a visit. Like I say, I haven't been for years. Cheers everybody. Oh, and by the way, congratulations to the Beatles. Officially #1 in the UK chart, aren't they now? Which means they've had 18 UK #1s. Then I got this one for £5. And yes, I've got loads and loads of copies of this. The reason I got this was just because it was cheap. The cover looked to be in really, really nice condition. You get your gatefold sleeve. And then this came with the poster as well, which I thought was a bit weird. I can find it. Or one of the posters, because I think some of these came with 2 posters and some stickers. This has just got the 1 poster in it. So that was that. So I spent a grand total of £20 in Beetroot Records. So if you're ever in Leicester, go and check them out. There wasn't really anything in there that was that expensive, to be honest. Then on the Tuesday we decided to go to Belper, which we've been to before, and that actually was a bit of a strange day because we was only going to go for the day, do a bit of shopping for me, you know, record digging. So we wanted to have a look in a couple of things, and then we was going to have something to eat because there's a nice like pub stroke hotel where we go if we go there, and you know, treat ourselves to a decent meal. I mean, it's not the cheapest place ever to get a meal, but it's always nice. And then joking now just says, oh, shall we stop in and for the night? And she was going, yeah, I bet they haven't got no room. So I just went and said, oh, we've got a room. And she goes, yeah. So we ended up stopping there for the night, which is dead good when things like that happen, isn't it? Went to 2 record places in Belper. The first one, I can't remember what it was called, but it was virtually opposite a pub called the Railway Pub. And it was like, it wasn't just a record shop, they sold all vintage clothing and stuff like that there. Chap was really, really nice. Went in and says, oh, are you open yet? And he goes, oh yeah, come on in. Is there anything you're looking for? Just browsing. So I'm just browsing to start with. He says, oh, if you want to know anything, you know, just ask. First record I got off him was Rock Rebel Quality, Best British Punk. And I'd never ever seen this album before. Some of it is live versions of things like Exploited, the Bollock Brothers, Sid Vicious, UK Subs, the Sex Pistols, and French Resistance. Then you got, and then it's the same on side 2. So side 1 is the Exploited I Hate You, the Bollock Brothers, Count Dracula, which I didn't know, but then it says something about from the east to the west, something or something. Sue seemed to know it. Then you've got Sid Vicious doing a version of Chinese Vox, UK Subs doing a live version of Waiting for the Man, the Sex Pistols I Want to Be Me, which I think is a studio recording, but I think it's an outtake. Then you've got French Resistance, Hollywood Girls, which seems to me, doesn't really seem punk to me. It seems more like new wave or maybe even new romantic. Side 2 kicks off with Sid Vicious doing a version of Belson, the Exploited Maggie, Sex Pistols No Feelings, the Bollock Brothers with Billy Idol, Can't Explain, UK Subs, Organised Crime, and then French Resistance, Straight to Death. Again, I'd never seen this album before. Looking on eBay this morning, I think it is actually quite a rarish album. I saw about 3 or 4 copies of it, and they seem to go anywhere from like £10 up to £25. I paid a tenner for that. Then from the same record shop I got this one, Georgia Satellites. If you're in America, you've probably heard of them. I think they were from America. In the UK, hardly anybody ever heard of these. I only know them because of a song called Battleship Chains. When I was working in one of my former lives, in a factory, one of the chaps there, we went out boozing one night, and he put this on to a jukebox, and it's always stuck in my head. And then when I saw this, oh, Georgia Satellites, yeah. And I was trying to explain to Sue what they're like, and she goes, well, I've never heard of them. And he goes, I bet you'll know the song. You've got to get down the battleship chain, battleship chain. And she goes, well, what do they sound like? I goes, they sound like these. And then I goes, well, actually, because Sue's Bon Jovi fan, says they do sound a bit like a mix between Bon Jovi and Europe. That was the easiest way I could think of doing it. And then when we played this yesterday when we came back, and when I was playing it, I thought actually some of the songs sound quite a lot like the Travelling Wilburys. A little bit heavier in places, but it does sound a bit like the Travelling Wilburys. And Sue goes, well, when you put that new album on then, because she was messing about in the kitchen, she says, you know, that was George Harrison and the Travelling Wilburys once. And I goes, no, that was these. And she goes, bloody hell, they're good, aren't they? A lot of the songs on here, apart from Battleship Chains, I'd never heard of, to be honest. Again, £10. Going on eBay, these go anywhere from £3.99 up to £35. And this was virtually mint. Like I say, I did play this yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yes, yesterday. I'm losing track of the days. That's side one. That's side two. Actually surprised me how much I did actually like this album. A bit like a band called Saxon in some ways as well. But that's just my thoughts. Yeah, so I didn't think that was bad for £10. So we've been out Monday, Tuesday. On Wednesday we stayed at home. So obviously Sue had still got things to do at home. And to be honest, when we was in Belper, I got a bit drunk because I didn't feel too good. As you do, you know, as you get older. Also in Belper, I went to the Belper, I think it's called Antiques and Record Centre, which is right next door to Asda. And I actually bought 2 Beatles albums. The first one is the Beatles Real Music, which I have got a copy of this. The reason I got this was because this one has got the Beatles souvenir programming with it, where mine hasn't. I don't know if this was in every copy or this was just in like promos or something, but every copy I've seen to ever see doesn't have this in it. So it's like cartoonish bits, and it gives you a very brief history of the Beatles movie career in it. And I mean very, very brief. When this album came out, there's absolutely nothing new about this apart from this. And the cover, I've always thought the cover's quite good on this, to be honest. So this is a UK copy, so it's on Parlophone, although it says capital there, because I think originally this was going to be just an American release, wasn't it? So it's PCS 7218. So you get A Hard Day's Night, I Should Have Known Better, Can't Buy Me Love, and I Love Her. They're from A Hard Day's Night. Then you get Help, You've Got to Hide Your Love Away, Ticket to Ride. They're from Help. Then you've got Magical Mystery Tour, I'm the Walrus, from Magical Mystery Tour. Then you've got Yellow Submarine and All You Need Is Love, from Yellow Submarine. Then you've got Let It Be, Get Back, and The Long and Winding Road, from the Let It Be film. So not exactly all soul inspiring, or, you know, there's nothing really there that you wouldn't expect to be there, is it? I don't mind it. I think it's got quite a good running order to it, to be honest. It is, when you play it from start to finish, it does sort of like make sense, doesn't it? So yeah, so that I'm quite pleased to get that one. That was, I can't remember if this was £18 or £20. But again, looking on eBay this morning, to find a UK one with that souvenir program or whatever it says in it is actually quite rare. It's not possible to find them, don't get me wrong, but they're usually a bit more than £20. Without it, it usually goes for about 15. The most I saw one for was £95. Would I pay £95 for that? No, don't think I would. But it is a nice album if you haven't got it, you know. Then I got this one, which was waiting for a version of this to come today. This is from 1978, and I have already got this one up there. The reason I got this was because it's on red vinyl, and I've got a red vinyl version up there, and I've got a blue vinyl version up there. But if you've watched my video from about a month ago now, where a subscriber sent me a load of records, the Vinyl Vault, there was a copy of the blue album in there on blue vinyl. And because I saw this one and it's on red vinyl, I thought, well, that'd be nice, so that's, you know, just to go with that one more than anything. and it is in really nice condition. You've got, you know, you've got the inner sleeves. This is a UK one, where I think the one that came off the vinyl vault is German, isn't it? I think, if I remember rightly. Nice red. And I've just been watching a couple of videos on YouTube before I came up, and there's one person was showing this, but the new one, the red vinyl version, right? And it looked a bit weird because it says the Beatles 1962 to 66 up there somewhere, and then down here where you get an Apple record 33 and a third and all that, like, all it says is side one, and then it'll say something like made in the EU, and the label to me just doesn't look like. But it's because I'm used to seeing them like this. Lovely sounding record. So one for you here, look, Beatle Brad. Coloured vinyl. Coloured vinyl. And this one is very rare. And I mean this when I'm saying this, it's very rare. It's the only one I've ever seen of the Red album on coloured vinyl where side one is on red vinyl and side two, or record two, is on blue. Yeah? I'll show you. No, it's not. I'm just joking. I'm just seeing if you're still all awake. That is the second disc. But apparently there is one somewhere where I think it is the Red album, but it's on blue vinyl. Well, I've seen one advertised somewhere. So I don't want a very good joke, but it made you laugh, didn't it? Well, I hope it made you laugh. So that one's for you, Beatle Brad. Then, like I say, Wednesday we didn't go anywhere. Yesterday, all my troubles seemed so far away, so we went to Chesterfield, which is quite far away again. I never realised how far that was from Derby. Again, we went on the bus so that we could have a drink and have something to eat. We found a lovely pub, had a really nice meal. They have like what you'd call a flea market stroke ordinary market stroke antique market on a Thursday. And there's usually loads and loads of record stores there. I mean, there was a few there, don't get me wrong. I bought a few things. But not as many as what I would have thought there would have been there. But then apparently, because I didn't know this, is a big record fair on in Chesterfield on Sunday. So I think the people that usually go there on a Thursday are waiting for the Sunday to go. I did manage to find some goodies, which I will show you. Again, most of these I hadn't got. There's a couple that I've got as sort of like upgrades. The first one I got was the Beatles Please Please Me. This is black and gold vinyl stereo version. Honestly, I'm not making that up. It is a black and gold stereo version, but it's a reissue. And again, I have got a copy of this. I've got the originals on mono, and I've got a copy of this, but I think mine is a D'Agostini one, where this is the one that you could buy in 2012, I think it was, from like record shops and stuff. So there you are, look, black and gold stereo label. Black and gold stereo label. Very faithful to the originals. The main difference is what your credits is for. It says ATV Sony Music, where it would have been Dick James Music or Northern Songs, wouldn't it? On the originals. Again, just need a quick clean, but that is a very heavyweight record. That was quite expensive though, to be honest. Oh, that Red album was £28, by the way, which I don't think was that bad, to be honest. That was 25, but like I say, I've got that as mainly as an upgrade, because although I've got like the mono ones. I've got a couple of gold and black mono ones, which were original ones. Then I've got one like this, which is a reissue, but that is the Agostino one. So this is like the original reissue with the black and gold, if that makes sense. So yeah, so I didn't think that was bad for £25. This one is a upgrade. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. This was £10. This is a UK copy. SHVL 804. You don't get any posters or anything with this though. It is a gatefold, but you don't get any posters or stickers or anything with it. But I think it is a first pressing, because I think it's, let's have a look. can see it. Yeah, it's an A2 and a B3 in the dead wax. I think that makes this an original copy of a very, very early copy from 1973. It does still say the gramophone company just there, where later copies will say EMI, and it does still say Harvest there, where later copies don't have Harvest. Of course, the one to look out for in the UK, if you ever see one of these and it's got a solid blue centre triangle, they're worth a fortune. I haven't played this yet, but like I say, I have got a copy of it. But this, I mean, that doesn't seem to have had much play at all, to be honest. You know, really, really nice condition record. And there's a few songs on here, isn't there, that they reckon is about Syd Barrett. Don't know how true that is or not. The Great Gig in the Sky, isn't there? There's that one. And then there's it Shine On. Is that one on here? I can't remember which one it is. Isn't them? It's a fantastic album. Very, very much like a concept album. This and Wish You Were Here, I think, are probably the best, in my opinion, best albums Pink Floyd ever made. In fact, I think Wish You Were Here's got a few songs about, or supposedly about Syd Barrett on, haven't they? A little bit of sellotape or something there, but again, £10. Can't go wrong, can you, for £10? Then I've got the Police's first album, Outlaws Delamore. Alright, and I was looking at this, and the bloke goes, "Oh, that's a UK first issue." And I'm thinking, it looks different. It does look different, because I think on the UK one that's not in red, is it? But I keep looking at it, and I've played, and you know, I've looked at it, so it's still on A&M Records and everything. Track listing is exactly the same, but it is from 1979, A&M Records Inc., not A&M Records Limited, and it is a Canadian pressing. Don't know if you can see that on there. There's a Canadian there. And this has got a barcode on, so I don't know if that means it's a slightly later copy, or if you'd had barcodes in Canada before we had them in the UK. So I think they came out in the 80s, didn't they, in the UK? You do get the original A&M sleeve, and then that side it's in French. Again, this is in really, really nice condition. Does need a clean, don't get me wrong, but yeah. Very sort of classed as a punk band, weren't they, when they started? Although they weren't really ever a punk band, were they? Roxanne's on here, which I think is one of the best songs the Police ever did. Again, that is just in my opinion. So Lonely, another great song. Can't Stand Losing You's on here. You know, there is quite a few good songs on there. That is the track listing, by the way, if you want to know what's on it. So yeah, that was £6. Again, looking on eBay this morning, there's only 2 of these on eBay this morning. One was 15 and one was 25 for Canadian pressing. UK ones are pretty pretty cheap, to be honest. You pick them up for about between £5 and £10. Then off the same stall I bought this one, which is A Music War, the album. I'd never seen this, and the chap that was selling it seemed to think this was quite rare. It's a double album, although it's not gatefold, and it's live versions of punk songs. And it's not necessarily songs you'd associate with the bands that are playing them. But you've got people like the Police on here, Toya Wilcox, Orchestral Manoeuvres in the Dark, XTC, Wall of Voodoo, The Members, We Got the Beat, The Go-Go's, that's on here. Where's Captain Kirk, Atletico Spiz 80. But remember, these were all live versions. Foolish I Know, Jules Holland. Then you've got The Puppet, Echo and the Bunnyman. Never heard of that one. Tear Up, The Cramps. Bad Reputation, Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. Down in the Park, Gary Newman. Gang of Four, he'd send in the army. He'd send in the army, Gang of Four. Homicide 999. I believe in homicide. Ding 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 ding. Again, live version of that. Magazine, Model Worker. So, you know, there's quite a few well-known bands on there, but probably not with the best known songs, although like Homicide is always going to be associated with 999, isn't it? So again, I haven't actually played this one yet, so I can't tell you what the sound quality is like. All I know is it's every song on there is a live recording. £10. I could only find 3 of these on eBay this morning, and they went from £25 to £55. So maybe the chap was right that this is actually quite a rare album. I don't know. Honestly don't know. It isn't why I bought it. I just bought it because it got some old punk bands on that I liked. Of course, Beatle Dave did used to be a punk rocker in another life, which this one, again, will prove, because this is one called Street Level. And this is supposed to be like the best of British punk and new wave. £3. £3 for 20 songs. And yeah, I've got some good songs on here. You've got Pretty Vacant, the Sex Pistols, No More Heroes, the Stranglers, Brass in Pocket, the Pretenders, Reasons to Be Cheerful, Part 3, Enjoying the Blockheads, Circus Game, Skids, fantastic song, Have You Ever Fallen in Love, the Buzzcocks, Sweetheart Contract Magazine, Butcher Baby, the Plasmatics. Now, didn't the singer, the female singer out the Plasmatics, didn't she marry Lemmy out of Motorhead, or she went out with Lemmy out of Motorhead or something at one time? Then you've got Public Image Limited, Johnny Rotten. Then you've got Blondie, Dinny Dinny. Side 2 is a bit more new wavy, I think. So someone's always looking at the Boomtown Rats. I can never work out if I like the Boomtown Rats or not. I don't like Mondays, and that's about it, to be honest. Then you've got 2468 Motorway, Tom Robertson Band. We Are Glass, Gary Newman. Underpass, John Fox. A Walk in the Park, Nick Straker Band. Making Plans for Nigel, XTC, yeah, like that one. Valley of the Dolls, Generation X, yeah, that one's alright. Sound of the Suburbs and Members, fantastic song. This is the sound of the suburbs. Then you've got the Dickies. Who remembers the Dickies? With the Banana Split song, la 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 la. And then it finishes off with You'll Always Find Me in the Kitchen at Parties by Jonah Louie. Again, we have played this one, played it last night. I had a couple of cans of beer while I was listening to this, and I was bopping around the room like I was a teenager again. So it did the job, to be honest, on Ronco. Who remembers them? Ronco, eh? There's another sort of like punky compilation that came out in the very, very early 80s on MFP in the UK, and it's called We Did 'Em Our Way. And it's got like a funk cover of the Mona Lisa, but all like punked up. And it's like so-called punk bands doing cover versions like Sex Pistols doing My Way and things like that. You try and get it. Very, very hard to get now. There's that one. Like I say, £3, you can't go bad at that. And then I went, just before we got on the bus to come home, I found another record shop called Vanishing Records. We did go in another one called Tall Bird, but there wasn't really anything in there that I really wanted. So I got 3 records from there. And again, I do know why I bought them, because they look really, really weird, don't they? but this is actually an original copy of Help by the Beatles from 1965. It's a mono version on Parlophone, so you've got all the songs on the back, but it hasn't got the cover. So, you know, they've printed that off, which actually made me laugh. And I thought, well, for £10, looked at the record is virtually mint. It didn't, like I say, it is mono, so that was £10. Then I got, this was another one that he had, the Beatles A Hard Day Night. Same sort of cover on it. Again, not the original cover. Again, an original UK pressing from 1964. This still says the Parlophone and Co on the outer rim, where I think the Help one says the Gramophone Co. So you've got all the songs from the film on the back. And again, that just made me laugh. I just thought, oh, sorry, this one was £9. £9.99 and £10. And then the last one that we got was, who remembers Europe? It's the final countdown. Sue saw this and goes, oh yeah, I'll get you that as well. I thought this was a 12-inch single because it was £1. £1. It's not, it's the album. It's the actual album. I think it's the album anyway. Yeah. So you've got 10 songs on this. You've got the final countdown, Rock the Night, Carry, Dancer on the Track, Najai, Cherry Cake, Time Has Come, Heart of Stone, On the Loose, and Love Chaser. Must admit, apart from the final countdown, I haven't really ever heard of any of these songs. It's not in the best of shape. There is some marks on it, don't get me wrong, but for £1. So that is my little adventure of crate digging and, you know, going out in the wild, as we say. I've really enjoyed it. Like I say, I did meet one of my subscribers, which was very, very pleasant, but it was a little bit strange as well. So if you're watching, Mick Patrick, once again, it was a pleasure to meet you, mate. And that's going to be it. I hope my records, my Red and Blue remixed albums do come, although so far as I'm recording this I haven't even had confirmation that they're on the way, and I've got them from the Beatles.com, the UK version of it, whereas with the single I did get a thing about 2 days before this coming saying that they'd been posted. So when I'm going to get them I don't know. When I do get them I will obviously do a video on them for you. But the only thing is, the later they come, the more videos you're going to go and see, and then sometimes I think, well, are people going to want to see another video? I don't know, of the same thing. Hopefully you do. And that's going to be it. Whatever you're doing, please stay safe. If you've got some money and you're not working on Sunday and you live, you know, not that far away from Chesterfield, go and check out the Chesterfield Record Fair. I won't be going because I've spent a fortune. Honestly, I've been off work for a week, and you know, by the time you take out your meals and you know, stuff, bought records and stuff like that, and then we've had a few drinks and a few laughs and things like that, it's, you know, it soon mounts up, doesn't it? It really does. You are the Beatle Dave. I love each and every one of you. Thank you to everybody that is subscribing, by the way. Whether you're a new subscriber or an old subscriber, you know, you're all welcome on my channel. I love you all. You're all amazing. And that's going to be it. So, like I've said before, whatever you're doing, please stay safe. Once again, congratulations on the Beatles becoming #1 in the UK, which I think was officially announced about 12 o'clock today. Could be wrong. But that counts streaming and all sorts nowadays, doesn't it? So I think it's amazing. After 54 years, the Beatles have got another #1 in the UK. Hopefully it'll get to #1 in America as well, and other parts of the world. I think it's a fantastic song. I think the video is very moving. I think the song is very moving, and I think the mini documentary, if you haven't seen that yet, please try and watch it, because I think in one way that is the most moving thing out of the lot, when you actually see them and they're talking, and you even see George playing the guitar on it. For saying he wasn't supposed to like it, he's playing the guitar and he's getting into it. I think at the time he thought, again I could be wrong, he thought they took that song as far as they could with the technology that was there in 1995. I think it's a fantastic song. I'm very, very happy. I'm still buzzing in one way. You know, that as a Beatles fan, a second generation Beatles fan I am, by the way, you know, that I have been, or we have been able to sort of like enjoy a little bit of Beatlemania, which we've only read about in books, because it must have been like this every time, you know, in the height of the 60s, every time the Beatles was putting a record out, it must have felt like this, and I feel honoured to actually have lived through it now. And I should imagine most of you out there feel the same way. So well done the Beatles and everybody associated with Now and Then and the new remixed Red and Blue albums. I can't pass judgment on them yet because I haven't got mine. You know, Mr. Postman has let me down, I think. But as soon as I get them, I'll do an unboxing video on them. I have been watching a few videos about people that have already got theirs, and I think at the minute it's a bit like that. I think some people are saying they're really, really good, and other people are saying they're not as good as what they thought they'd be. Now, until I get them, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to just listen to them with an open mind, like I did with the, you know, with the hype that was coming up for Now and Then. Yeah, you know, I still think that's a fantastic song, and I think it was worth the wait for it. Whether we'll get any new songs again by the Beatles is a different thing, isn't it? Because Peter Jackson has sort of let slip now, hasn't it, that, you know, there's a lot of songs that they now could release. But would there still be Beatles songs if they haven't got all four Beatles? Or was it like demos and stuff they've done that with that crap, but now they can clean them up? So, you know, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. So like I say, once again, hope you've enjoyed the video. Sorry it's been a bit long, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. Once again, I'm sorry that it isn't the Red and Blue albums, but hopefully that will be the next few days. And I love you all. So until next time, cheerio for now. Bye. Peace and love.